Yes. It's steel.
But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
Keeping it real.
Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Steven and this is Steel Keeping It Real. So you know what today is. It's Throwback Thursday! And because it is Throwback Thursday, what I like to do is dig deep into the crates, go back to the days of yesteryear, and play you some classic hits. So, the next one on the list is back in 1994. It's by a guy called Ahmad Lewis, who at the time went just by the name of Ahmad, and it's called Back in the Day, and it's the remix, but when I look at it on Wikipedia, it says that the original version had Teddy Pendergrass as in the backing vocals, so I don't know what the remix is. Let me see. It was, 1994, released when Ahmad was only 18 years old. The song is a nostalgic remembrance of childhood and young teenage years from somewhat jaded adult perspective. Back in the Day was Ahmad's only major hit single, making it to number 26 on the Billboard Hot 100 and the number 19 on the US R&B charts. The song contains a sample of Teddy Pendergrass' song Love TKO, and it was the first single of his 1994 self-debut album and was RIAA certified gold. So, that means this was a big hit. And I remember like it was just back in the day. I just remember that song. But when you're listening to the song, it does kind of bring up, and I do understand that synopsis, that when you're thinking about it, the main lyrics are back in the day, somehow I wish I was a kid again. I can't remember what the lyrics are, but you'll hear it, and it makes you ponder back to simpler times is basically what it was. And so it's almost, I would put this up there, maybe not as big, but kind of like Juicy and Juicy by Biggie and Hip Hop by LL Cool J. Just some of these things that just take you back, or even Summertime by Mr. Will Smith. So, I don't know why I did that, but it's just one of those songs that's groovy and takes you back. I almost would consider this a summer song, because summer songs harken back to simpler times and happier times, and summers are happier times. You have a barbecue when you're a kid. You have not a care in the world. Back when I was younger, our parents would basically kick us out of the house, but just make sure you're home by a certain time. But all the time we'd be out of the house. If you ever wanted to know where your kids are, you just look at the house that had all the bicycles out in front, laying down in the yard. People would be playing. We would do anything back in the day. And because it was the 80s, if you go back and watch for me, it would have been the 80s. If you go back and watch 80s movies, just realize there's not a lot of parenting done in 80s movies. It's almost like parents are non-existent. I mean, you look at movies like The Goonies. The mom was there just to help, pack up the stuff, and then the parents show up at the end after all this crazy stuff has happened to your kids who are probably like 12 to 16 years old. Then you have, 16 Candles. For God's sake, they forgot her birthday, and she's floating around doing all this stuff. Breakfast Club, parents drop them off, pick them up when everything's done and over it, and all the drama happens without the parents there. There's numerous amount of movies from the 80s that have this. Ruskies, they're dealing with an Air Force, a Russian back in the Cold War, and then they're hiding him, and it's in everybody's military. So it's just really, really weird. So, if you like videos like this and others on my channel, please don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button, because I'm doing at least 15 videos each and every week. So, without any further ado, here is Ahmad and Back in the Day.
And here we go.
That's old school.
Yeah? No school like the old school.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Back in the days
when I was just a little gigolo, I looked up to my bigger bro, begged if I could kick it. So when he went out with girls, I could go tagging along, nagging. If she had a sis, maybe could mac a baby hood rat. Y'all remember way back then, when it was 1985, all the way live. I think I was about 10. One of those happy little fools singing the blues that be always trying to bag with the shag and karate shit, saying yo mama black, his mama this, his mama that. Then he get mad and want his crap. We stay mad about 10 minutes, then it's like back on the bike to play hide and go get it with the younger souls by the bungalows. Then switch to playing ding dong ditch when that gets old and too cold to hack it. Threw on a bomber jacket, you could tell the ballers cause they fell wearing gazelles. If they really had money raised, be sport DKs. And all the girls had they Turkish sling. If it broke, then they made earrings to it, like they meant to do it. But sometimes I still sit and reminisce, then think about the years I was raised back in the day.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid
and
again.
Everybody
back in the
say,
days when I was young, I'm not a kid
and
anymore.
everybody
But some
say,
days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
and everybody
back in the
say,
days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
I'm still back in the days, but now the year is 87, 88. That's when my crew and I were in junior high. In 7th grade, I hated school. No doubt I couldn't wait to get out
and be a grown up.
But let me finish this, reminiscing and telling about when girls was spelling tight corduroys like for the boys, basket weaves, Nike Cortez and footsie socks, and eating pickles with Tootsie Pops. And it don't stop. I'm glad, cause when JJ Fair did Supersonic, it was kinda like a sport to wear biker shorts or to wear jeans you could smack if you mac right. To hoochies with poison airbrush on they backside. Dudes had on Nike suits and the boomers with the fat laces, cause it was either that or K-Swiss. I miss those days, so I pout like a grown jerk, wishing all I had to do now was finish homework. It's true, you don't realize really what you got till it's gone. And I'm not gonna sing another sad song, but sometimes I do sit and reminisce, then think about the years I was raised back in the day.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid
and
again.
Everybody
back in the
say,
days when I was young, I'm not a kid
and
anymore.
everybody
But some
say,
days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
and everybody
back in the
say,
days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and
Back in the day.
well, it's a morning. I figure that now I'm all grown up because I'm 18 years old, and guess you could say I'm holding down a steady job and crew steady mobbing. You steady bobbing your head, and I'm paid, so I got it made. But didn't always have clout. Used to live in South Central LA. That's where I stayed and figured a way out. I gave it all I had, so for what it's worth, I went from rags to riches, which is a drag. But now I'm first, so hard in the nose is on our way up. Yeah, we said that we was gonna make it since a kid, and we finally did. But sometimes I still sit and reminisce, then think about the years I was raised back in the day.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid
and
again.
Everybody
back in the
say,
days when I was young, I'm not a kid
and
anymore.
everybody
But some
say,
days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
and everybody say,
back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore.
what?
But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
Okay, so that was Back in the Day by Ahmad. And yes, some of the things that, brought up imagery of back in the day. Now, I want to ask you guys, what was a unique pair of tennis shoes that you owned? Because back in the day, you know, you had the K-Swiss, you had the BKs, you had the Nikes, you had the Pumas, you had the Adidas, and I remember when I lived in England, I had a pair of K-Paws. And K-Paws had, I had K-Paws and I had a pair of Kangaroos. And Kangaroos had like a little pocket, like a zipper pocket that you could keep like your money and stuff on the side of your shoe and do all that stuff. Unless you got robbed of your shoes, you always had your money on you. So, what was a unique pair of shoes that you wore? I'd like to know. Because like I said right there, K-Paws and Kangaroos, probably some of you have never even heard it. But that's that. But I do like the groove of using Love TKO by Teddy Pendergrass. And, you know, the lyrics are great. And it just puts you in that mood. It's like a mood. I mean, if I smoked weed, I'd probably be, you know, this one, you know what? Back in the day. Yeah, back in the day. But I remiss. So, if you're still here, I thank you very much for staying tuned. I really do appreciate it. First and foremost, I want you guys to like the song as much as I like making it for you. After that, all I need for you guys to do to help me out with my channel is to like, subscribe, share, and comment.